Oh, welcome to a Thanksgiving week, Hug Nation. Talk about holiest of holy days, gratitude. Before we get too deep, let's just get present. Take a moment of mindfulness. Become aware of the now. Feel your body. Hear the sounds. Notice the sensations, the temperatures. Feel the weight of your seat in the chair, your feet on the floor. In this now, we are present, aware, awake, and able to receive so many infinite blessings and sit in the state of gratitude and abundance. Thank you, universe, for all of our blessings. Help us to appreciate, to grow, and to share. Amen. Oh boy, it is Thanksgiving week, and you know what that means. Cheap TVs at Walmart. Yes! Well, I'm getting ahead of myself. I just want to talk a little bit about Thanksgiving and gratitude, and I think that that's a part of the daily, hourly foundation of a spiritual path is thinking back into gratitude. Whenever I am not in a joyful place, I think that the kind of universal recommendation amongst coaches and inspirational speakers and psychologists is start doing a gratitude list. Start refocusing your energy on what is good. What is good. And there's biological reasons why we need to do that. Evolutionary pressures and traits do not create an urgency to remember and wallow in all the things that are good in our lives. But there is an evolutionary reason why we need to stay hyper vigilant and focused on the things that stress us out and could be dangerous, which is why it's so much easier to remember the things that are bad or stressful or painful, and it's so much more challenging to keep aware and remembering and thinking about the good things that happen. It's just not, there's just that biological urgency isn't there. However, we're not in the realm of biology anymore. We're not just trying to survive and live and stay alive. We're trying to thrive. We want to evolve and self-actualize. And so good enough is not good enough. We need to adjust our focus so that we are spending time on what's awesome. We are in a state of gratitude. We are letting the blessings define our experience. And in doing so, as we make our blessings define what life is about, we simply create a mindset and an openness to receive more blessings, to receive more blessings, to receive more blessings. I like to say, that the universe is just like, God is just like a friend at a dinner party, and if he cooks for you and you say, "This is awesome, I love it, this is great food," then the host is going to cook for you over and over and over again and get you more and more elaborate things. But if you don't even notice it and you just shovel down the food, then the person who's in charge of giving the blessings and the food, they're not that motivated to keep dazzling you. So if you can practice that gratitude, it's like a compliment to the chef and assures that the next meal and delicacy will be, so nice. So what am I thankful for? What a loaded question. What a lob. It's hard for me to step into gratitude without going to just the baseline awareness of being conscious, of being in a healthy body with the ability to hear music, to hear laughter, to see colors, to feel the sun on my face, to feel a back rub, to this just super basic level of experience. Being able to actually experience the universe is such a crazy gift, and it's so easy to take for granted because it's just what you're doing. But if you can recalibrate your baseline so that you see that as a gift all the time, oh man, suddenly there's almost no room to think about anything but the blessings. And that's the goal, really, to fill your attention, your RAM, your memory with so much good stuff that that's all you can think about. That's all life is just a blessing, 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 blessing. Cone, as far as the eye can see. So I am incredibly blessed and thankful for my family. I am so grateful for the relationship I have with my parents. I enjoy hanging out with them. I am grateful for the relationship with my brother and my sister-in-law and my nephews. You know, my grandpa would always say, you know, family's everything. And with all the ups and downs and all the different places we go in life and the lessons we learn about ourselves and the shifts in who we are, you know, there's a few constants. The big one is us. We are always there. So learning to be appreciative and have gratitude for I is critical. But also finding some level of peace with your family, which is a non-adjustable element. You know, it just is a real wonderful thing. And there's a line in A Course in Miracles: would you rather be right or would you rather be happy? Which is sometimes a good one to remember when it comes to family. It's really easy, especially with parents, kids, when you have these long-standing disagreements about who shoulda, they shoulda, wish they were more like, and sometimes it can get so easy or so tempting to focus on what a person is not, that you are unable to really celebrate what they are. You know, I know that if I could just fixate on the fact that my dad is not a spiritual guy, you know, he doesn't meditate or do oming, or he has no crystals. And I could, you know, if I wanted to make that the story, I could just be frustrated that my dad was so, like, just, you know, we can't even connect at all on spiritual levels. He overtly dislikes the smell of patchouli. But if I make the story about all the wonderful things that I appreciate about him, about his honesty, about his integrity, then my cup is full, and I get to just sit in a state of just total gratitude, total cone. I'm also exceptionally grateful for Belicious, my partner. We are approaching our 2.5-year anniversary, which I'm pretty sure is my longest relationship ever with a girl. And the lessons and the learning and the growth that has been a part of our experience together as we support and challenge and uplift and love one another has been something that I beyond what I thought possible. And one of the things that I really has been a wonderful experience for me is as, you know, sometimes I'm like on top of the world and I'm flamboyant and on stage and like cha, and I could see how it's easy to shine and be bright and vibrant and yeah, everything's. But what's wonderful is that sometimes more often than others, I'm not ready to be on stage. I'm not ready to take on the world. I'm not feeling quite so triumphant. But I always feel like the light that B shines to me is the same. You know, she doesn't need me to be on to shower me with love and appreciation. And I think that we both, in our maturity, as we are growing and challenging these things, we have an appreciation for all of the humanity, all the frailty, all of the dents in our armor and the scratches and all of the things that make us who we are not the obstacles, they are the treats. And it's just been such a gift and blessing, so full of thanks for the ability to share so much of life with someone who's a seeker and a journeyer and an impressive person. Man, it's been so cool to watch B take off in her business and really make things happen and get to be a cheerleader for someone in my life, when old patterns that I've had to work through over the years is one of worry, trying to fix and trying to help and trying to kind of parent and you know, take care of things, and it's been so rewarding to see what can happen when I practice seeing my partner as capable, as knowing what to do every bit and more than I would. And so by taking myself out of that role of like, I'm here to help, instead to be like, I'm here to celebrate. I'm here to remind you that you're doing awesome when you might stumble, and vice versa. I am also incredibly grateful for Hug Nation. And when I say Hug Nation, I mean the community of people that are called to and identify and resonate with the ideas that we share here. Things like giving thanks, like opening up our heart, like finding our gifts and sharing our gifts with the world, and really kind of trying to hold one another to our agreement with ourselves to be our highest selves and to pursue and try to be the most us that we can. And no matter how much of the world and the marketing messages try to make us think that we're not enough and we can simply get all of our needs met with a purchase of products C and D and L. But in this Hug Nation, vibration and community, and is this, I think it's a reflection to one another. It's a namaste reminder of, as we look metaphorically into one another, we see the beauty and the miracle, and as we see it, it also reflects that knowledge of self. And so as we start to see the miracles of the world looking back at us, they illuminate our own miracle, and it allows for a sense of self-love, I hope, that then allows for love of others without any sort of, it's unconditional. There's no, I guess if there's a condition, it's simply in honesty and integrity and being present. But if anyone is on that path of trying to be in integrity, well then it's so easy to love them. Especially when we can have a community that supports that and makes that, that elevates the importance. So I'm grateful for my health, freedom, grateful for the ability to make choices. And I'm grateful that I can make choices and change my mind on a moment-by-moment basis. You know, this path of self-discovery and truth is one of constantly having to go, is this true for me still? You know, there was a time when this time of year I would be so excited about turkey dinner with my mom's amazing recipes. Now I'm excited about the tofurkey. And B is going to be making some vegan dressing or gravy. That's kind of been a challenge for our non-meat feast, has been the gravy, but we got it this time. Looking forward to it. It's an interesting just place to be as my dietary habits have changed over the years and have been linked to, I believe, to be, you know, a spiritual impact of them, and how that affects on something like a holiday like this, where it's so based, that traditionally is so much about food and so much about the bird. And I so am not interested in eating animals anymore. I was over a friend's house this last week, and it was cool. It was a guy I've known for a long time, and he wanted me to come and sit and hang out with his teenage sons. We're very different life paths, but he wanted his sons to be exposed to this unique and different person that in his lives that he thought would be a good influence. I'm not sure if he still thinks so after what he heard me say, but he asked me about my choices of vegetarianism, and it was in 2007. I stopped eating red meat in college, so I was only doing chicken and fish since, you know, for the last 20 years. But in 2007, I was driving the Hugmobile on the Hug Tour, and we stopped at a truck stop, and it was reading some collected essays by Gandhi. And he was talking about vegetarianism. And the way that he explained it, at least the way I remember it, I haven't been able to find this passage again, so I could have made this all up, but my memory of it was saying that there's nothing wrong with eating meat. It is, in fact, there's almost nothing more natural about that. There's, you know, the cycles of life and the course of all of the biospheres. It's just how things work. Eating the flesh of other animals is absolutely within the natural cycles. But Gandhi was pointing out that if we are following our spiritual path, our goal is not to be surviving and existing as part of the natural world. The gift that we have is to make choices from a place of love, to make decisions and choices from a place of compassion that are at a higher level, a more divine sense of choice than that of survival. And so that Gandhi was saying that, you know, it is my choice to cause as little suffering as possible to other beings. And so one of the easiest ways to reduce and minimize the suffering that you create is by not eating animals and not asking anything to be killed for your food. And, you know, in Gandhi's day, that was a much bigger deal. I read that when he was in London, he almost starved because there was just no vegetarian options for food, and he finally, you know, was connected to some vegetarians that were in London when he was studying there, but he was really struggling. Nowadays, my corner market here has, you know, tofurkey avalanche and just like all sorts of fake meats, and it's you almost, I mean, like I said, we're having a tofurkey. That's hardly a Thanksgiving sacrifice. So I'm appreciative and thankful for how easy it is to be vegetarian. And, you know, I by sharing my decision, it's not an indication of or a condemnation of anything that anyone else is doing. It's simply the recognition of where my choices fall on this particular day. And that's the wonderful thing, is that we get to keep getting more in alignment, and then, oh wait, I'm out of alignment, let me recorrect, oh, back in line, oh, there we go, yeah, until just the way things are and the way we act and the way we do things is all in alignment with our truth. And that's when we're in bliss, when our actions, our words, our thoughts are all in alignment. And I think that's when you find yourself in tune with your gifts, and then hopefully in a place where you find some way to share those gifts. And that's the big gratitude, the big thanksgiving, is recognizing that this time of being grateful, this time of being thankful, is also one where we hopefully are thankful for all the gifts that we have and all we have to share with the world. That doesn't necessarily mean grand things. You may not make a top 100 pop song or build a dam, but your gifts can be simply that of being present and listening. Your gift can be that of support. It can be that of kindness. It can be, well, hopefully as you tune in, you get more and more aware of, like, oh, this is my magic gift. This is how I fulfill my purpose, is by being of service and sharing these things. And so as we waddle through Thanksgiving Day and then go into Black Friday, I think it might be a good exercise to think about our gifts. Shift the whole concept of gifts as we, the Black Friday is the crazy shopping day when people line up in front of Walmart and go crazy for cheap stuff. But on Thursday, we're so focused on all that's important. And then the next day, we go crazy, totally losing track of what being thankful and what a gift really is. And so let's, like this Black Friday, the question of the week actually is, what should we do on Black Friday instead of shop? So if you want to put your answers or see what other people have said, please, what are some good things to do instead of Black Friday? I was inspired by seeing What Would Jesus Buy, which is a documentary. It's very biting and fun. And so on this Friday, let's try to rethink gifts and spend a little time thinking about gifts, and we'll spend a little time thinking about our gifts and what we have to give to our families, our friends, our community. Because really, if we can go from Thanksgiving and make it all the way to the end of the year by amping up our gift giving from inside, then we're in this incredible place. I'm going to grab the phone.
Hi.
Hello.
The sender of this didn't put enough postage, so I can send it back or ask you for $1.15.
I'll give you $1.15.
Okay. You might want to tell this person, if you're familiar with them, that they probably figured that on letter rates.
Okay.
Anything in bubble wrap, anything, is now considered a package.
Ah. Okay.
Post office is slowly pricing itself out of existence.
Oh.
Well, I shouldn't say that, but...
Well, I appreciate it.
Okay. Very good.
Thank you so much.
I'll be back.
Sorry about that. That was the postman. What was I saying? Oh, I'm so thankful. These are the people in my neighborhood. In my neighborhood. So I think it's a perfect opportunity to sink into a healthy thought process about gifting and giving and our gifts. Because really, if you as we go into Thanksgiving, into the Christmas season, what's the reason for the season? Well, if you want to get metaphorical about it, it's about the light being born. I would say it's the light being born within us. And what I would say that is your gifts, that is your divine nature, that if we can allow the Christ light to shine in us, then we don't have to go shopping and we don't have to cross people off our list. We have to simply share ourselves and create connections, bonds, love, in the way that all these other activities are simply trying to imitate. Now, that isn't to say that it can't be fun to give some gifts, but I try to do it from a place of spreading joy, not from obligation. It can be so tempting, and with the way the messaging is, and certainly then the way that so much business happens in this time of year, that they know, they prey on it, they want us to feel like so obligated to have to do this stuff. And there's nothing wrong with buying gifts for people you love. It's a bummer if that experience is tainted with obligation. So it's not a gifting experience, it becomes a transaction. If you owe someone a present, it doesn't feel good to give it to them. So just snap yourself back, allow the gifts to happen, find your own gifts, and know that I am incredibly thankful for you sharing your gifts, and you being present, and you being a part of this now moment. So let's have a Hug Nation hug. Grab yourself by the shoulders. And this body, these sensations, these thoughts, the deeper you that is filled with talents and gifts and connections. What a treat, what a treasure. And in these moments like this, let's acknowledge our highest self, our best self, and know that whenever we slip or fall, that true divine self is always going to be on the other side of that cycle, waiting for us to get back in the saddle. And we got to forgive ourselves when we stumble, and forgive other people when they might not be acting in a way that we think they should, because they are in the process of learning the exact lessons they need to, or playing the role of instructor for us. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, no, go ahead and smash your card into me and take that. Oh, yeah, no, that's fine. No, you are a good teacher, you crazed shopper. So as we get into the crazed holiday spirits, we will remember to tune in to know that all of the holiday traditions, all of the gingerbread and red cups and pine trees, it's all window dressing, all tools, all ways to get us in a headspace where we are in line with our high self, when we are in tune with our gifts, when we are sharing and coming from a place of service. And there's just so many good flavors at Starbucks this time of year. Thank you, universe. On behalf of Grandpa Caleb and all the love warriors, happy Hug Nation. Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving. Thank you for being you. I am grateful. Namaste.